He could use that on Pasha, but it's very difficult for Pasha to maintain that clarity while getting CS, so more than likely will not be able to do it. A lot of the times we would see Enchantress start on the top though for this reason.
Gonna go in for the stomp, 33, he's got the Death Pulse available, Roger's gonna cop a lot of damage and then tether himself down to Ramses. Good positioning from him, Roger. She goes at a 24 HP. Zai wants to keep the chase going through the Sal, but still only brings him up to 3/4.
Zai now in trouble.
Still got Spirit available, puts it down, looking for the stomp. Roger, as well as Ramsey, split up, but the tether does not shatter.
Had enough on the stick to get the mana for his stomp, so will be able to stay alive, but he expended pretty much all of his regen at this point on that Elra Titan. This is how we see Io and Gyro often win their lane. It's just by sustaining, pressuring, then in the end the enemy has to buy more regen than you, so you win. But Necrophos is one of the better heroes at dealing with this consistent harassment. As long as it's not bursts, 33 will be able to largely out-heal this damage by just getting CS, and he's doing fine for himself so far.
CCNC is just having the time of his life. He doesn't even need, feels like he needs regeneration, inner vitality. Got enough buffs up recently that it feels good to stand his ground. 1-2-1 build for CCNC.
Yeah, no one is not having fun.
But at least he's finding CS. It's 8-3 against 19-8. Okay, I take it back. I take it back.
Yeah, so this, the thing that's a bit surprising about this for me is that this is I think OpTic is one of the teams in this tournament that like their last pick Huskar the absolute most. I think OpTic loved their last pick Huskar the absolute most. They've even picked it in games where it wasn't particularly good, and they did lose as a result. But this looks like a great Huskar game, and VP, I think they just forgot about it. If they were anticipating a Huskar and were okay with this, that surprises me, because they've always put so much emphasis on the laning stage. Oh, no one. He took 8 burning spears.
That's going to tick so hard.
Dying,
that's only 2 points of Dragon Blood with the Tango. It'll be low enough to push him out of the lane. Ramses. Stomp comes in, does not connect, however, so they're able to back out. Roger as well as Ramses both burn their stick charges. There's no more consumables on this top lane. The courier is ferrying out now the south of 3 tangos. And they need this pretty quickly.
I'm starting to wonder if... So the thing I was talking about maybe lane swapping DK and Ench, I was thinking, okay, well, Dragon Knight's matchup bottom might not be the greatest either against Bane Clinks. It feels like he would have done better than what he did in mid. You can sustain okay-ish against Clinks. Bane is strong, but you will get at least some farm, and then the downside obviously being that you get a later level 6. Even though no one is struggling, he's still at least level 4.5 compared to the Enchantress in their offlane who's 3.5. So that's a bit of a silver lining, but CCNC's almost level 6, and at that point no one, he can just die from full health almost by getting jumped.
Gotta look for these 5-minute bounty runes, top lane. VP should be having them under control. PPD wants to try and battle against the Enchantress. Solo's already moving up, but PPD will reach it first, so Denial is the only other choice they have, or killing PPD. He's in deep, no TP scroll available, and this may be our first blood. In fact, it will be. Pasha drops the nuke. It's costly.
Well played, everybody.
Yeah, everyone's a great Dota player. It's almost like his TI. Zai wrapping around the back on the top lane, begins his stomp, is only faking it out, however, as Ramses wants to try and push everything back. The stomp is coming in, is able to connect onto Roger. Ramses, now the Rocket Barrage is available. Roger, he'll live through this. In fact, it's Zai who's dropping down low. The sustain of this Io and Gyrocopter just so good for 33. Death Pulse coming off cooldown right now. It'll fly forward. They stick charge up once more, so Ramses with the tether, they should be okay.
They got a shrine. Oh, no one is jungling level 4 Dragon. It hurts to watch. That is... Oh, it's like everything this guy is so good at, he doesn't even get to do in this game. His lane mechanics in mid, he can't showcase it in this matchup. It feels like OpTic with a huge advantage from that mid lane. And 38-28 against 14-3. And 4 of those are neutrals, by the way, I think, from no one.
Yep.
He does not have a game right now at all.
This is when the other lanes will have to step up for Virtus Pro. Pasha's trying to do it on the bottom lane, feeding into Pinecap. PvD can only just watch him. Now they turn on the strafe. Okay, they can do more than watch. It's a level 2 brain sap. Sucks the life out of Pasha and Solo. Invis.
Pika doesn't have his third skill. He might die here.
Well, the Flyer's coming out. Fortune's End locks him in position. Pasha should have the damage. Extra TP support's coming in. PPD with the Nightmare. They switch the target out, but Zai has arrived. Gets the stomp. Connects onto Solo, and Pasha is very uncertain what more he can do. They at least force the rotation down, but Solo hitting with the searing arrows. 33 will die in the meantime. That's what happens when you take your support away from the lane.
Yep.
And Solo just walks it off.
Elder Titan rotation. I'm not even sure if he saved Pycat. Pycat might have been fine regardless with the Nightmare out from PPD. And like you said, they pay the price. VP trying to play aggressive in that bottom lane at the very least, so there's somewhere they're putting pressure, because it surely ain't mid, and top lane's been pretty even so far.
Well, Solo saying hi to Zai. But 33 underneath the tower. Flat cannon damage is pretty good from Ramses, but 33's got 6 charges available as well as the Shroud.
They forced 2 TPs, both CCNC as well as PPD TPing top, PPD cancelling his, and CCNC running back to mid, so that was very uneventful from OpTic.
No, I usually know what. I have time. I have time to farm in the mid lane. There's creeps underneath my tower. I feel safe here.
Is he getting both? He got 2 CS in lane.
Yeah. If he can get the catapult, jump in, going in deep. That's why the Dragon Tail stun came out from no one. CCNC wants to go in deeper. No TP support arriving from Virtus Pro. All he can do is do the Breathe Fire, try and reduce this damage of CCNC. Courier's even delivering in deep. That's a very, very tanky Huskar. Double braces and burn. Oh, no one. You just can't. You can't get a break.
That was so close to living, but needed a little more health. Like 15 there would have maybe done the trick.
Roger coming in with a Spirit, actually forcing the Ghost Shroud, allowing Roger to do more damage. The homing missile chasing after 33. He'll do a quick death pulse, give him enough life, and maybe with the Rocket Barrage. How much will be tanked by 33? All of it. Ramses even looks for an extra one. No Black Hand available. He's got another Rocket Barrage, so going after Zai under the tier 1 tower. The Io and Gyrocopter has been the plague of this tournament. But it's fantastic for Virtus Pro early on.
It's so important that this lane is working out for them. Imagine this game if it wasn't. I think Ramses and Roger both know how much weight they have to carry in this game. No one has probably, first of all, they probably know this lane matchup in mid very well, and they probably communicated, okay, this is how we have to play this game to... They basically have to put no one on their backs for a while. And maybe he can recover. Dragon Knight is not the worst hero to play from behind, but it's not great either. At least he got level 6, so maybe we could be seeing a mid-rotation with the Relocate come out from VP to try and grab this mid-tower. Io and Gyro both level 6, minute 9, so very good timings for them.
The CCNC, he doesn't want to wait for this. Goes up to the high ground, knows he can just push out the DK, so Dragon Tail, Dragon Form, support coming in, and the Relocate, exactly as you called, Cinder, and the damage! CCNC is gone!
He didn't even have Armlet.
No, he didn't. Didn't need it. Not required. Now up towards the top. The stomp is there. They get the double stun out. No way for Roger to escape with the Reaper's Scythe. Ramses is in real trouble. Running away. One more punch will do it. One punch man Zai. Help is coming in from no one. Dragon Tail stun creates the space with a homing missile. Zai should die. No one gets something. Actually, Ramses and no one share it. 33 will continue his run away. But remember, 10 minutes. Bounty runes. VP already have 3 of them, and it looks like they're going to get all 4.
Oh, that is huge for them. This is reminding me of that. What game was that? It was VG versus Secret yesterday?
Yeah.
Where VG have this perfect Huskar lane, perfect Huskar game in general. Well, not perfect, but really good at least. But still, Secret managed to grab all those bounty runes, and this time around, it feels like the same story. VP just getting the better out of these runes and the map in general. Even with a very bad mid lane, they're looking okay.
Just love this control. Nightmare on bottom, into Stomp from Zion. Pasha doesn't care. Pumps the sprites, he knows they can't punch him, but no one knows he can be punched. Instantly TPs back to base.
Yep.
No way he takes that fight.
It's funny when you compare the gold and XP graphs. This is, I would say, a relative rarity nowadays. Most of the time, the team that's ahead on gold is also ahead on XP. Oh,
damage from Pasha on bottom lane so high. They're trying to actually snap back Pasha. He's got no sprites available. Has to trigger the 1 charges. Sprites are up in 1 second time. Meanwhile, up on top, Roger does go down. Pycat doing the work as the Clinks.
Great hero at killing the iOS the panel talked about. It's one of the harder matchups to deal with. Showing it here. CCNC putting pressure on mid. He will yield a bit to no one, so the siege creep will die. And probably will not be able to claim the tower now because of this. His armlet is, however, complete, and it is flying out now. This is the first really big power spike for Huskar. Or, well, it's the second one. The first big power spike for Huskar in this game was the draft.
Just walking into a lane against the DK.
Like, I'm really strong.
Io and Gyrocopter looks like they're going to try and do something about it. Relocate is up, but they're going to do it the old-fashioned way. TP the tier 2, and then smoke up. And wrap around. CCNC is the man. They'll probably see the armor on right now. Ramsey's smoke's going to break. Cooldown's coming off cooldown at the moment. CCNC, life breaks his way forward. Roger, it's a lot of damage on him. The cooldown's still going to hit nicely, but they need more support. Need to back up with the Reaper side. The Ramseys cannot be protected. No one can do a 4-man breathe fire, so the damage output from OpTic is very, very low. But everyone from OpTic bar PPD came over. That allowed Pasha to take the tier 1 tower on bottom. And OpTic instantly looking for the rebuttal.
OpTic was so ready for that play. You saw Pycat positioning himself to break that exact smoke from top. It was pretty telling that VP had no hero in that top lane for like 20 seconds, and they get the time to set up. Za in the perfect position with ET as well, and they get the gyro kill. Solo was able to save the IO, so it's not the end of the world. And like you said, they got a tower, but they really want to kill this Huskar. This is the centerpiece of OpTic's draft that you want to try to slow down if you can. That's what we saw yesterday, once again, from Secret against Vici Gaming, was that Ori was having a really, really good lane on Huskar, was very fun, but they killed him a couple of times, and he just ran out of steam a lot earlier than you would have expected in that game. This time around, though, CCNC is having a great time. We'll be getting the tower here, most likely. If no one denies this with an illusion rune, that will be incredible.
Not gonna happen. Maybe maybe it does. The dragon's attacking in. One more attack would have done it, but it went into melee form.
That was actually... I think
Pasha, Solo, underneath the caught up on top. 33 thought he was good. Here comes the relocate once again. Virtus Pro. They find a core. They don't want it to be Huskar. Keeping these heroes down. I want to beg the question, like, can Virtus Pro keep this pressure up, and does this stop OpTic from just taking Roshan? You talk about CCNC being able to just be aggressive and find kills.
I think they're going to struggle fighting for the first Roche, but I feel like they will try, and in a way they have to. Just their lineup is not good at killing Huskar in the mid game once he gets something like a Halberd. You look at the heroes that they have, they don't have really heavy single target damage except the Enchantress. Gyro is a split damage carry. Dragon Knight is not the highest single target damage output carry either until very late in the game. So yeah, I think that will definitely be a big point of contention here that is a serious problem for Virtus Pro to deal with.
Observe Wadsaw the courier coming towards the top lane. They keep it in the trees and away from Pycat. But Pasha and Solo, they're beset on all sides. 4 heroes surrounding them. Necro is the only one who's down on bottom, and CCNC doesn't care. He just runs in. He's got a haste room. Pasha begins his TP. And there is no stuns available. And Solo, does he actually get out as well? They're in the corner and they check it last. So the tier 1 tower will fall on top. Meanwhile, Ramses and Roger have been farming up the Radiant jungle. 33 has had to defend the bottom, and no one's had, okay, a little bit of space. It's still a better trade for OpTic by far.
For sure. They didn't lose anything, really. Get this tower. Pycat's probably going to inhabit this top area now, and Huskar can kind of go wherever he wants, really. It's not that much to do about it. For now.
Yeah.
Bounty runes looks to be, this one will be a 2-for-2 split, so this time around OpTic not losing that control.
Roger's actually holding on the charges until he has Ramses with him. Get the mana back up again, try and get this Gyrocopter as efficiently farming as possible, and they're getting towards the BKB for Ramses.
Are scanning.
He knows he'll need that if he's going to have any chance of standing in the fight, because Dragon Knight is not his front liner. It cannot be the front liner. And Enchantress's damage is getting a little bit better. Pasha working towards the Hurricane Pike.
That is their Huskar killer. That's the timing that they... Obviously, if he has Halberd, he can either, if he's really clutch, he can maybe Halberd Pasha before he gets the Pike off and attacks don't go out, or at least he has the evasion to work with.
OpTic coming for the kill. These items are not up yet, so OpTic still feel confident to engage. Alska's gonna find his target, and surprise, surprise, who is it gonna be? Hello, Mr. Dragon Knight, and goodbye, Mr. Dragon Knight. ET's gonna be committed just in case anyone wants to TP in towards this fight too. Partial will arrive, Splitter's already come out. Nature's Attempts is there. DK taking through a lot of this, but the Fiend Script from PPD, they're able to go from one target to the next. And Pasha, he has no way to escape from this. Relocate is on the way, and well, Ramses and Roger, if you really wanted to be part of that, there was the kill All the way down on bottom lane, it was Ramses killing off 33 while that engagement was going on around the Dire Shrine. But yeah, they come in late and they relocate out.
Yep. Didn't seem like they... I think if they instantly relocate on that, perhaps this fight can work out for VP, but even in their own shrine, they still... I bet they feel like they have to avoid the Huskar. It seems like that's just the play call here. Okay, wherever Huskar goes, we don't go. Maybe Pasha missed the memo a little bit, TPing in there. It's a very difficult play.
Roshan's being killed off. There's no relocate, there's no reposition. They are copping a lot of damage. Zai's getting punched up, and only barely do they claim it.
That was indeed Roshan.
Yeah,
obviously timing it.
Yeah, it was perfect. As long as Zai didn't get bashed a second time, that would have been then. Oh, Zai dies to Roshan, and then he'll have more kills than no one.
Oh, solo.
Perfect catch out. Cannot save himself in time. Cast every single ability he possibly can to save himself from Pycat.
Yeah, I think he could have stayed alive there, actually. He cast the disarm on the Clinks and TP'd out. Oh, he didn't have a TP. Okay, I think that's a relatively hopeless situation. It is your, a lot of the time with Oracle, your instinct is, okay, I'm getting attacked, I will Fate's Edict and start healing myself. But against Clinks, obviously you want to try to get that disarm out, or the Purge out on the Clinks. Both spells cast aggressively on the Clinks can help you a lot.
Do you like the Diffusal Blade? I know Black was talking about getting a Desolator to find a quick kill, but he actually went Diffusal first item for Clinks.
It's an interesting choice when you're playing against the IO, just because you can Diffusal the target that's tethered, and then you slow them both up a lot, but both items are good in their own way. I think there's a bit of player preference going into this as well. The mana burn against a hero like Dragon Knight is really useful though. So, could make a difference.
Bottom lane, 33. Oh, they're going to find a different target. It's going to be Zai. He'll go in for his stomp, but Pasha loves this. He'll just keep his distance. Throwing out the impetus, he can find the kill pretty quickly. There's no instant movement forward because PPD has arrived. Dragon Knight's still on his way, so he's not ready to fight in this one just yet. The trick of the drum charge and the call down. It looks like Ramsey wants to be part of this fight, chasing PPD into the tree line. CC&C, Parcher's got the spaces to beat into, and Solo has to save himself from Pycat. Support is still coming in. CC&C, he's already found the kill to relocate out. Does not come in time. So Solo and Ramses both go down. And that's a weird kind of fight. And you know it's not over yet. 1 second, and IO's coming back all the way down to bottom. And goodbye, Roger.
PPD played the tree line really nicely there. Just biding his time, waiting for the fortunes, or sorry, for the false promise to come out, and immediately after that he gets the grip off of the BKB gyro. And VP, they looked like they thought they could fight that. They didn't have their Dragon Knight as part of the fight, and they kind of... I felt like they forced this a little bit, perhaps, when...
It was just a little bit too early. Like, he got the Blink Dagger, but it took him too long to get down because his TPU, I believe, was on cooldown at the time. They couldn't even reach
the thing that happens in this fight is actually a really key part of how OpTic should try to take their team fights. If they can force the Oracle to self-ulti, it opens up for a very easy fight for Gyrocopter. For the Bane. There aren't that many solutions to Bane's Fiend Script this game. There's only really Homing Missile, which... time to reach, or the Dragon Knight stun. And Dragon Knight wasn't even there, so easy grip for PPD. I would say this is one of the downsides when you play these double save supports, is if the enemy has heroes that are really good at forcing out the saves on the supports themselves straight away. It's difficult for them to just enable their cores in the way that they want to. OpTic surely in this game have great solutions with both the Elder Titan for the Spirit to force the IO away. They have the Clinks with the backline, and even the Huskar who is just jumping in and hitting whoever he wants.
Clinks is going to find another kill, and it's going to be Pasha. That's
Solo.
It looks like double damage. Solo caught out by CC&C, and now Pycat can cash out Pasha. I don't think he believes he can take this kill by himself, so he's waiting for Zai to rotate over.
Yeah, he can't if Enchant is ready. If Enchant is on cooldown, I think he actually kills him with that Diffusal.
No Enchant used yet by Pasha. Here comes Pycat underneath the tower. Pasha into the sprites, hasn't used his Enchant just yet. The Stomp is out, and Pycat finishes the job.
Nicely done. OpTic are controlling the map very well now. The early game probably didn't go as well as they would have hoped, bounty rune-wise, but now that Huskar is fully online and Clinks has hit this timing too, they're spreading VP pretty thin here. Yeah. It's difficult for VP to play the lanes when there's these many kill threats that they don't really have a very good solution to themselves.
The only thing they can do is just wait for all their out-of-towns to go down and fight from a position of high ground, which would be inside their base.
Doesn't feel like the type of lineup from VP, though, that wants to play like that. You have Dragon Knight, and you're going to just play defensively and hold your base.
Homing missiles going towards PPD. It's going to be underneath the shrine. CCNC's already here to fight. And you see, just like even under your own shrine, Virtus Pro do not want to take this fight. They realize they're being watched.
Yep.
Get rid of the Observer Ward in the lane.
Solo did ping out this Observer earlier that the Radiant had with the way Huskar ran up and killed him, so they did know that there was some vision here for OpTic. They obviously don't know now that it has expired. Bottom lane, that's a call down there, just clearing out the waves.
They're getting the hell out of there. Like, this is not where they want to be.
When's the last time you've seen VP playing this defensive?
A very, 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 very long time ago.
I'm not saying it's the wrong play, it's just...
Oh,
it's an issue from their draft and the way this game is going in general, so they're doing a good thing. They're just not playing to their strengths.
They needed to wait for their items, like that's it.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm wondering just how hard OpTic actually need to push right now. You're walking towards an MKB, the Hurricane Pike is completed on Pasha, and well, there's a 9% probability, but if Pasha becomes that Huskar killer, then Ramses can take care of the team fight. He's finished up the BKB, you're still running an IO and gyrocopter, so your global positioning can always be good. The only non-factor is kind of no one. He's got a Blink Dagger for a stun, and that's all he's going to really offer to the fight. But BP understand this. They understand they're weak, and they're just trying to play away from OpTic and make the trade-offs as good as they can possibly get it.
OpTic look like they want to try to defend every tower. I really like this mentality. I think when you're stronger than the enemy like this, you don't give anything up for free.
BP already there. You've got the BKB Clanks ready to jump into the fight, and the stop it won't be able to connect. Homing missile will chase down 33. Pycat's found a target over on the right. It's going to be Pasha. He'll sprite up and push up the hillside. A mischance will not be there. Can they get close enough? No, Roger. Tethers forward. They want to keep the run. Call down from Ramsey. Turns on the BKB and the Black Cannon. PPD can't maintain that life. Pycat runs away. Here comes the ET splitter. Will not connect on anybody. And Solo has to actually protect himself. There's a lot of life taken away from OpTic, but remember, they can just stand their ground, or can they? Huskar stunned up by the magic missile. The ET stop doesn't do enough work. Ramsey's in close, and can they bring down the BCC and sees its armor toggling it while Roger 33 executes him in the back lines. They're back underneath the tower. 33 in a Ghost Shroud wants to dive in deeper. The stop once again whipping on the skies as Huskar under the tier 2 tower. Zai doesn't want to stick around much longer, but Pycat does into the back lines. He'll find Ramses, diffuses him up. Ramses cannot fight that power. CC and Pycat, both wicked sick, both living under the tier 2 tower and forcing the issue against Virtus Pro.
And you see in this team fight, that was an amazing call down and flat cannon, but look who does the most damage on VP's side. It's the Enchantress. She actually did more damage than Gyrocopter in that fight, and that's because she's the one hero that can confidently try to lay into this Necrophos as well as the Huskar in the front lines, but it's just not enough. CCNC, it looked like maybe he would die at one point, but Pasha was running out of mana, and there's nobody helping him with that kill, because nobody really can do it. We're going to see the fight again right here.
Yep. So it finds him in the corner. Solo already had to use the save, but that wasn't enough to even save him.
Key force staff play there.
And then back under the tower. But you see how low they are, like 3 players who are like 20% and under. And OpTic still don't care. They understand they are the Immortals at the moment.
33 also playing it so close to death, but all of them surviving. VP look a little bit flustered. That was a very big moment for OpTic. They gained such a big advantage out of this fight. Now 10k up on the gold. Roshan will be spawning relatively soon as well, and feels like it will be same story all over again. Can VP even contest it? And if they can't, the CCNC Huskar with an Aegis and a BKB, it is not going to get easier.
OpTic are keeping the tempo up. They smoke up as 5, or actually it's 4. 33 is once again the man who is not there, and Solo once again may be the man who gets ganked up. Pycat, yep, he goes after Solo. Leaves no one alone. And everyone else, 4-star TP out. Pasha wants to escape. Anything they can do to not have a fight is what Virtus Pro need. But how good is that high ground defense? Like, you got your Breed Fire, you got your Flat Cannon, you got range damage. Is it enough to keep OpTic out when OpTic are already showing they don't really care about diving into tier 2s?
It's good against everyone else than Huskar, really. Their high ground defense. The problem is the way this lineup sieges for OpTic is that Huskar goes and hits the tower, and the team just protects him from the back. They have Defensive Nightmare, they have Stomp from the Titan, and VP will be forced to either do a smoke wraparound on them when they're pushing to try to hit the back lines, or they have to contest the Roche. I think going on a Huskar with Aegis in front is going to lose them the game.
They just smoked under an Observer ward. 3 of them just did it.
Oh, that's a really old ward. They've had that in the base for 6 minutes.
Yeah, and now they dropped the sentry and they'll realize their smoke was right on top of it. I think they worked it out because they have their own Observer wards inside the jungle, and OpTic Gaming, they started moving back.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, they're already reacting to something we instantly just did.
Yep. So good read from VP at least, but it's a very minor gain considering they used a smoke for that.
Well, Huskar's coming up. They have the Observer ward in place for OpTic, watching the ancient area. This gives them so much vision security around Roshan that the confidence will go through the roof. Observer and Sentry does see Pycat wrapping around the back, so Virtus Pro, they're at least aware of Klinks. He's waiting for his death pack to come off cooldown. He's got a nice Centaur to take. He's even diffusal blading it so he doesn't run back up the hill too fast and into the waiting hands of VP.
Next level. Stomp mid. Thinking about it here, yep, he'll go.
Fiend Script as well. Did no one actually save him? Blink Dagger was on cooldown. He blinked down into the tree line. So without Pasha, you know you're not going to get anything. They're not going to get it anyway. OpTic, Aegis Immortal into the hands of the Huskar. Pycat will claim the cheese. And this may be enough to be the base breakers that OpTic need to be.
This will be the hardest fight of the whole game for VP. Everything OpTic wanted, they have. Oh, and even if he finds a kill here on the way in.
Yeah, he's chasing Ramses. Roger, he may have need to start the relocate. There's a mech charge available, and you're seeing Roger decides to die, and Ramses just wants a TP out. He has no buyback available. He's still a little bit short, and they fortify, so he can't even creep skip. Completes the TP out. CCNC's already taken the first tower. On bottom lane, that's all the outer towns of Virtus Pro down. So Pasha is up, but there's no Aya for that regeneration, for that mech. And they're split as well. CCNC's just pushing the bottom tower.
Just gonna wait for his next wave to come in. There it is. And in we go again. Or not. Or yes.
Wait for it.
Maybe.
Observers are down, so Virtus Pro can at least see a little bit further out of their base. Pasha knows that his pure damage is the only real answer they have.
And you see what he's buying.
CCNC.
He's working on that. And
Ramses, he's in trouble. Has to PKB. The diffuser blade of Pycat kept him low, but at the same time, Pycat, he's got no mana to work with. He's got cheese available. There's another stop. Will miss his target. CCNC stunned up, and Ramsey, he goes in deep. The Reaper sight won't find the kill. The Pulse Rollers is there to protect him. The cooldown making it difficult for OpTic to get to the front lines, but not for CCNC. The slide breaks forward, looking to break the back of Virtus Pro, and they're in a pretty damn good position to do it. Back to objective-based gaming. Tier 3 tower and Rax needs to fall. And Virtus Pro need to heal. They'll smoke up, but I don't know what your initiation is. Gyro has no BKB, no cooldown, not even flat cannon for 10 seconds.
Huskar is invincible until Enchantress is back. There is zero chance they can kill this guy twice. And he knows it, so they get the full lane of Rax.
And OpTic will retreat. Homing missiles coming out, but they're not going to chase this. In fact, right now you see Roger using relocate to grab the runes. Kept the bounty runes at 30 minutes. Get something on this map. If you can actually reach the other one, yeah, he's got enough time to get there.
Yep. Stem the bleeding a little bit.
CCNC, an absolute beast in this push. They're targeting perfectly as well, Pasha, so he is a non-factor.
Yeah, he needs to get this MKB. So they need this MKB and they need the Aegis to expire.
Dragontail stun, they're going to find 33. He's died more times than anyone else on OpTic Gaming, but with Huskar jumping forward, the stomp's out, and Gyrocopter, PPD's on solo life, the balls from Ire will kill him off, freeing Ramses from the bind, and finally they break the Aegis to the Immortal. Call down from Ramses, he gets something in return, but they're so far behind. OpTic can just walk through it, and GG. The call comes down, Virtus Pro knew that was the last roll of the dice. OpTic Gaming take game 1 against a team they've struggled to defeat all season. And now VP are 1 loss away from being eliminated from TIA.
That was a Trump pick Huskar. Classic Huskar game. Gets picked in a game where he has all these good lane matchups. And I'm very curious to hear in a moment what the panel thinks, because I feel very strongly that they had to put the Enchantress mid in this game. I think Dragon Knight, you can't, even if you want to get that level 6 faster than in a side lane, you just can't get this crushed in the laning stage by the Huskar. Enchantress is relatively competitive in that lane, can actually win the lane, whereas for Dragon Knights, absolutely hopeless.
It was a total crush in the lanes. Virtus Pro on the brink of elimination. OpTic Gaming, can they advance?